Chapter 567, Chords of Gods once again. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. Wedding engagement is an important affair and it demands a lot of time and attention. It is a ceremonial occasion to show honor to the bride's parents, and of course, a generous dowry is expected. After all, the Chen family is an aristocratic family with a history spanning from the Middle Ages, respectable ancestry, and affluence. The family has 8 clans, and each clan is further divided into 72 tribes. There are also countless family generals and servants. Needless to say, they are a big family. It was difficult to estimate the number of families paying close attention to the marriage between Zhang Yuochen and Huang Yanjun. Numerous people kept a watchful eye on whether Zhang Yuochen had prepared sufficient dowry and gifts. If Zhang Yuochen's gifts were not adequate, the members of the Chen family were ready to ridicule Huang Yanjun's parents. Zhang Yuochen dedicated his heart and soul into preparing for this marriage. He was very generous and made sure he prepared lavish dowries and gifts to be sent over to the bride's family. Knowing that Zhang Yuochen was going to send the dowry and wedding gifts to the Chen family, his friends and relatives gathered at Zhang Yuochen's mansion to help decorate the bridal chamber and the mansion. Si Xingkong and Chang Kiki were first to arrive. They were 2 of Zhang Yuochen's closest friends, and they have been that way throughout the time they were in Omen Ridge to Saint Academy. Although Zhang Yuochen far exceeded them in his level of cultivation, he did not have an air of arrogance around them. He personally went to the gates to welcome them the moment they arrived. Zhang Yuochen saw Si Xingkong and Chang Kiki from afar and said, "Eldest brother apprentice and elder brother apprentice Chang, how did you know I am going to present the bridal dowry and gifts to the Chen family tomorrow? You know so much." Si Xingkong had not changed much since the time he first came to the East Region Saint City. He is still as carefree as before. He carried a wine gourd on his waist and had a smile on his face. While he looked like an alcoholic, he possessed an air of calm and composure. He said, "First of all, we are brothers. Secondly, we all have left our faraway hometown to come to East Region Saint City in hopes of achieving our dreams. It is only right that we support and help each other. We have to come to help you out with your wedding." Laughing, Chang Kiki commented, "That's right. Eldest brother apprentice and I may not be great help, but at least we are good at helping you carry your boxes of gifts. Are you rejecting our help, junior fellow apprentice?" Zhang Yuochen knew that Chang Kiki was just joking. He appreciates their sweet thoughts and sincerely said, "Thank you, my elder brother's apprentice." Si Xingkong went to Zhang Yuochen's side and whispered, "Don't thank us. We should be the ones to thank you. We have received the Xuan Wu Qi you sent to us through Miss Kong Xuan." Even eldest brother apprentice was at a loss for words. "We are so grateful. From now on, no matter where and when, I, Si Xingkong will be there for you. You just have to say a word, and I will be there." Si Xingkong said these words fervently and with firmness. He had a determined expression, almost as if he was taking a vow. Chang Kiki's expression turned somber, and he said, "Count me in too." Both Si Xingkong and Chang Kiki are faithful and trustworthy friends. To have them vouch for their loyalty was definitely more valuable than 10 million spiritual crystals. A low voice rang from outside the gate, saying, "You guys sound so happy. What are you guys chatting about?" Swoosh! A burly figure shuttled through the gate in a series of shadows. Lei Jing walked down the stone steps with his hands behind his back and firm and steady footsteps in austere grandeur. Streaks of holy qi could be seen emanating from his paws. With every step he took, the spiritual qi under his feet ripples outwards like water waves. Zhang Yuochen, Si Xingkong, and Chang Kiki immediately went forward to welcome him. All you need is one glance at Lei Jing, and you could see into Lei Jing's internal body. He has opened 5 holy meridians and reached the 8th change in the fish dragon realm. He was just a step away from cultivating the glazed treasured body. Zhang Yuochen clasped his hands together and bowed, "Greetings, Master." Si Xingkong and Chang Kiki simultaneously bowed in unison, saying, "Greetings, Master Lei." Lei Jing set his piercing eyes on Zhang Yuochen and nodded his head. His serious expression turned into a smile and he said, "Lad, now that you are a Sword Saint disciple, do you still have to address me as your master? A teacher for a day shall be a teacher for life, said Zhang Yuochen. Lei Jing was just joking with Zhang Yuochen. After all, he had also received the Xuan Wuqi sent by Zhang Yuochen, and he knew Zhang Yuochen was a dutiful child. He would never forget the grace he received. With Xuan Wuqi, there was hope for Lei Jing to reach the half-saint realm in his lifetime. Lei Jing's expression turned grave. He said, I just received news 2 days ago that Chords of God had appeared once again in the battlefield of primitive world. Seek Sinkong was somewhat surprised and he said, it hasn't been long since junior fellow apprentice Zhang reached the ultimate realm of the heaven realm. Don't tell me someone else did so as well? Zhang Yuochen's eyes narrowed and he asked, is it Yi? Lei Jing nodded and said, it's indeed Yi, the young master of Black Market Excellence Hall. People said that he has returned to Eastern region, escorted by the Black Market Saints after he broke through the ultimate realm of the Heaven realm. This is a bad news for you, Zhang Yuochen. Shang Kiki snorted and said, did he dare cause trouble in the East region Saint City? Not only is Di Yi a man of strategy and courage, he is a man who is capable of actually doing something, said Seek Sinkong. Lei Jing started to worry, and he said, Zhang Yuochen killed the Yellow God Emissary, captured Orange Star Emissary, and even the death of Green-Robed Emissary was attributed to Yuochen. You can say Black Market Excellent Hall had lost all its honor to Zhang Yuochen. They wouldn't call themselves the Black Market Excellence Hall if they weren't going to come seeking revenge on Zhang Yuochen. The Black Market will not miss the golden opportunity to attack during Zhang Yuochen's wedding on the 7th of this month. They would do all they could to regain their honor. I've heard that some senior evil superiors had been spreading malicious rumors about killing Zhang Yuochen on his wedding day and taking captive of his bride. They wanted Zhang Yuochen to pay an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Seek Sinkong snorted, clenched his fists and said, what a bunch of arrogant scoundrels. How dare they plan to plunder in East Region Saint City, such outlaws. Shang Kiki stared at Zhang Yuochen and said, don't worry, junior fellow apprentice Zhang. East Region Saint City is not a place for these black market evil warriors to mess with. Zhang Yuochen was not one bit fearful, but it does not mean that he was not worried at all. He said, East Region Saint City is a relatively safe place. However, the black market is very powerful and has a long history in Kunlun's field. The undercover agents they trained have infiltrated the major forces are deeply rooted within organizations. We have to be careful. That evening, a family banquet was held in Zhang Yuochen's mansion. Among the guests were Seek Sinkong, Shang Kiki, Lei Jing, Luo Shuaihan, who were monks representing Saint Luo Gentry. Lu Fanshan was there too, and he was the monk representing Sword Sanctum, and Ni Honglu, the deputy commander of Silver Sky Mercenary Group, and so on. Since it was just a family banquet, it was not grand enough for senior monks to attend. It was mainly a gathering for the younger generation monks. Zhang Yuochen met with many familiar friends in the banquet, except Juan Muxingerling. As he inquired about Juan Muxingerling, it was said that she had left East Region Saint City a few months back and had not returned since. For some unknown reason, Zhang Yuochen felt a little lost. After all, among all his senior apprentices, Juan Muxingerling was the one with the most intimate relationship with him. Although Juan Muxingerling was part of the heresy sect, Zhang Yuochen treated her as his confidant. Zhang Yuochen knew very well that Juan Muxingerling left East Region Saint City to carry out task Zhang Yuochen had delegated to her, which was to protect 9th Commandery Princess and Zhang Shouxiu of Yunwu Commandery. For several months in a row, Juan Muxingerling had not returned to East Region Saint City. Could it be because the masters sent by the black market to Yunwu Commandery was too powerful for her, or was she deliberately avoiding Zhang Yuochen and Huang Yanjin's wedding? A sacred mountain was suspended in midair above the 7th district. The sacred mountain was about 333 meters above the ground and it was surrounded by clouds of white fog. Looking up from the ground, one could vaguely see red vermilions and a vague image of the towers that lay behind the white fog. Di Yi was wearing a long white robe and had a metal mask on his face. He was standing at the edge of the sacred mountain, looking down at the lights below with his sharp eyes. His eyes came to rest on Zhang Yuochen's mansion on the Avenue of Kings. Di Yi's voice had a magnetic draw as he smiled and said, cyan robe. Zhang Yuochen's mansion is magnificently lit up, and there's so much bustle and stir in it. It makes me want to join in the fun. Cyan-robed emissary was standing behind Di, carrying a sword. Her slim figure cast a long shadow under the shining moonlight. She said, "Young master, it seems like you can't wait to take on Zhang Yuochen." Di's lips curled up slightly as he said, "It's a good thing to be born in the same age as Zhang Yuochen. If weren't for his provocation, my cultivation may have not been able to reach Heartless Saint being level. If not for the pressure he put on me, I may have not been able to break through the ultimate realm of the Heaven Realm. He is like a millstone that continues to sharpen my knife." Cyan-robed emissary said, "It's a pity he's not part of the black market, otherwise he'll probably be your best friend, young master." Di was an arrogant man. He looked up at the crescent moon and said, "There is no one in the world today who is worthy of my friendship. There are only 6 people who are fit to be my enemy. He's one of the more important ones." Cyan-robed emissary asked in curiosity, "Who are the other 5 and what is their status?" "Of these 5 people, I would think you know some of them. However, there are some whose names you probably have never heard of. Regardless, they may not be lower than Zhang Yuochen and me in terms of their natural talent," said Di with a laugh. "Tomorrow, Zhang Yuochen will be going to the Chen family to deliver the bridal dowry and gifts. The day after will be the actual wedding. As his enemy, surely I would have to send my congratulations. Have you prepared my gifts for Zhang Yuochen?" Cyan-robed emissary's expression subtly changed. She quickly knelt down before Di and said, "Forgive me, young master. We have encountered some problems with Yunwu Commandery. None of the masters we sent forth had lived to return. Action failed.